Okay, this is a student who sent me a message saying, please, would I look at rhyme scheme? Now, this is a poem that I did last week, but let's look at the rhyme scheme again. When you do a rhyme scheme, you look at the last word in every line, and you look at which words sound the same. So you're going A. If there's a new sound, you go B, B, B. Right. So we have spring, which rhymes with ring and sing and fling. Then we have lush and thrush and brush and rush. Then we have joy, cloy, boy. Beginning, sinning, winning. So what do we see? A, B, B, A, B, B, A. We count the number of lines, 14. It's a sonnet. When we see this rhyme scheme in these 8 lines, it is structured as a Petrarchan sonnet. Then this one has CD, CD, CD in the sestet. So if you're asked about the rhyme scheme, they want to know this, A, B, A, B. They want to know that. Then they want to know, so why is it structured like that? And we did this last week, and we said that the octave in this poem is about the season of spring, that it's a wonderful season full of life and energy. In the sestet, the speaker says that spring is like the Garden of Eden. It is what the Garden of Eden must have been like. So nature that is pure and unspoilt. And then he links this to, well, when are people pure and unspoilt? And he said, when they are young. And what spoils people is sin. And he prays to Christ to keep young people pure and unspoilt. So usually in a Petrarchan sonnet, we expect the octave to give us a problem and the sestet to give us a solution. But this Petrarchan sonnet isn't working like that. This one is working like this. Real spring in nature, and then spring, Eden, pure in people, and a prayer that that purity lasts. If we look at a different poem, if we look at Remember, so we have away, stay, day, pray, land, hand, planned, understand. It shouldn't be a 2-syllable word, but what can I do? Then while and smile and grieve, leave, had, sad. So what do we have here? A, B, B, A, B, B, A. What do we have? An octave. What do we suspect? A Petrarchan sonnet. Then we have C, D, D, E, C, E. Quite strange in the sestet. Right, so what do we expect? In a Petrarchan sonnet, we expect the octave to be a problem and the sestet to be a solution. Is it quite that in this poem? Not entirely. All right, so there is a problem, if you like. What does she want? Up until here, she wants to be remembered. Please don't forget me when I am dead. So I think a very human emotion. She's talking to somebody she loves, and she's saying to him, please don't forget me when I'm dead. I'm not there anymore for you to hold my hand, to see me, to talk about the future, to give advice or pray. I'm dead. Remember me. Then we have the yet. So the yet is the volta. So in poetry, if there is a turn or a change in thought or emotion, that is the volta. And there is a change here. And she says, but what happens if you forget me for a while and then you remember? She says, please don't be upset. Because if the darkness of death and the corruption, all right, so now we need to go to the idea of what happens to you after you're dead. Many cultures bury dead bodies. What happens to the dead body? They rot. So the corruption is the rotting of the body. It's the decay of the body. So she says, if the darkness of death and the rotting of my body leave a tiny little bit of the person that I once was, the person I am now. So she says, I actually don't know what's going to happen. What are we told in Christianity? We're told we die in corruption, but we rise incorruptible. We die in the mortal body, we rise immortal. But she says, I don't actually know what really that means. So now I'm dead, and I'm waiting for the last trump and the rising of the dead and the day of judgment. Where am I while I'm lying in the grave and my body's rotting? Where's me? Me, the person I am, where's me? And she says to him, if the darkness of death and the rotting of my body leave any tiny bit of the me that I am, better by far you should forget and smile than you should remember and be sad. So what is she given? The problem, if you like, is this desire to be remembered. Please remember me. But it's not quite a solution, but it's saying, but you know, it is all right to forget. Because I love you. And if there's anything of me here, the most important thing of me and my thoughts is my love for you, and I would rather you forgot about me than you should grieve. I don't want to cause you pain. So the title has this double meaning. So the first remember is remember me, and the second remember is remember it is all right to forget me. Okay, so the two sonnets we've looked at, both Petrarchan sonnets, but not quite a problem and a solution, though the second one is closer than the spring one. So you can be asked, give us the rhyme scheme, and then look at the rhyme and tell me how it's working, dividing your octave from your sestet and the volta. So you need to look at that. And this one is not separated on the page the way that spring was.